You've made it to another episode of The Money Exchange. Thank you for being here. Be sure you hit that subscribe button because I want you to be aware of every episode that drops. And if you enjoy, leave us a comment because my guest and I would love to see or hear or read how you felt about the show. Today with me, I have Majesty and Elize. Hi.
Hi. Hey, what's up?
I'm so excited to have you both. One, just looking at the two, this black magic on the other end of the screen. I love it. So I saw some wonderful news and stories about you all online. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, well, I'm Elize, and this is my husband, Majesty, and we own and operate Evopia. It's a nonprofit 501c3 membership organization that uses the power of real estate to benefit the Black diaspora. So we are married, and we're also business partners, and it's been great.
Love that. And so tell us, like, why did you get started in the business that you're in? There's so many different things that you could do. Why did you start the type of business that you have?
Well, we actually met when, at a transitioning point in our lives as far as our careers. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a child, so cutting grass and doing all those different things. But I had a fintech company that I was having some issues with as far as new regulations that were coming out and having to meet those regulations. And she was at a firm that didn't value her as they should. So they ended up giving a promotion to someone with less skill, but they were a little older. So it was an age thing. So we kind of both were looking at what we were doing, saw the challenges and saw the opportunity that both of our skills provided. Her background in marketing, mine in sales and negotiations and operations, and we kind of put that together. As far as why we chose real estate, honestly, there was a friend of mine that did very well in real estate. I had known about real estate for a while, but it was perfect timing. This friend of mine offered to kind of take me under his wing. He didn't offer me any money, but he told me he would kind of show me the ropes. So I had to dive in, and it was definitely I won't say rough times, but we definitely went without and focused very heavily on building our like experience and also learning more about the business or whatnot during that time. And the one of the biggest points about real estate that I like to make to people is that the transaction sizes are so large that when you do close a transaction, similar to McDonald's when they close a transaction on a hamburger, it's $2 or $3, but with real estate, especially commercial, these numbers get up into the billions easily. So I love the fact that there was such a big pie to share with people, because then you can bring in so many people into a project, offer so many jobs. And honestly, it's the same process as selling a hamburger, even though it doesn't, it seems daunting mentally, but it's the same exact process as far as, pitching a product, pitching the benefits, organizing, logistics, things like that. At the end of the day, the principles are the same. It does take a little bit longer, but the checks are definitely, great for everybody. So that's why we chose real estate.
I love it. And, so I have to say the project, and maybe this is one of several, but the project that was really eye-catching for me was how you brought in so many people to be a part of one. Is it your recent project, or do you do this type of thing all the time?
It's an ongoing project.
Okay.
It's honestly more of a newer concept.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, that makes it exciting, but that also can make it challenging because you're blazing new trails, which means that you'll run up against new resistance as far as regulations and government, bureaucracy or whatnot. But it's also exciting because it's like the gold rush and you're kind of, one of the first people in that area. But it's a project that we're currently working on. We're building a model right now at our warehouse, at our offices. So we'll continue to update people and kind of show videos of where we are with that, but we're putting in windows and doing framing right now on the project. And then we're going to open it up to the public on a limited basis to come take a look and see what the future of real estate development looks like.
And so also,
No, you go ahead.
I also think that a lot of people are interested and excited about the concept. I'm assuming you're talking about the container home development.
Yes, I was going to ask you to describe it. I know he just went right
Yeah.
in, so tell them a little bit about it. He's excited. That's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Like all of that fire. But a lot of people are definitely interested in the container home development, and we got a lot of traction. As you can tell, we have 3,000 supporters. It's growing every day, who became members of Evopia, and you know, they pledged their support to our initiatives and what we have going on, and we're deeply humbled that so many people are interested in being involved in our projects and staying up to date, and then also supporting us in any way that they know how, whether that be offering skills, trades, donations, investments, partnerships. So we're excited that so many people are excited, and so glad that you saw our article.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I want you to talk a little bit about the pledge. So when I was doing research to prepare for this, I saw there was an opportunity to pledge a membership that's actually free. So talk to us about what that, like, what does that, why a membership and what that means for somebody that's interested, and then what they will get by doing that.
Okay, well, in order to sign up for Evopia, as you mentioned, it is free, a free platform. And what that does is it gives them a platform to talk to other Black people or like-minded individuals about things that are important to them, including current events and things of that nature, and also gives us a means of communication to our supporters that is direct. And so that was really important for us to establish that, because there are a lot of barriers in communication when it comes to major social media networks.
Yes.
Like, Facebook, Instagram, I don't really have to name them, I'm sure you're aware.
Yes.
A lot of censorship going on, a lot of tethering. Even if you pay for advertisements, pay for placements, they can accept or reject your placement, et cetera, et cetera. So there was just a lot of, I guess you could say, regulation in that space. And so that's why we built Evopia, so that we can have an open means of communication with people who support us and the people who want to communicate directly with us.
That's right. So now you've said it a few times, Evopia. Tell us what that is, and then tell us how that name came about.
Okay. Well, Evopia is a mashup of evolution and utopia. And this is honestly something that we've been working on before the pandemic, but since the pandemic, we've seen that the need is even greater for us to come together with actual solutions that consider the majority of our community rather than the few to benefit or whatnot. So that's really what it's all about. And our initiatives are the pledge that you mentioned is surrounded by initiatives that everybody in the Black community we've seen has vocalized as important to them. Being education, defense, mental health, physical health, excuse me, it's things these are principles that are at the core of what we believe are important. And we believe that there needs to be more attention given to these. And that's what we provided the platform for, because it's not possible for one person to provide solutions for everything, but we have so much skill, so much talent, so much intelligence within our community. They just typically don't have the resources necessary, to build out systems and processes that benefit us. So that's really what it's about. We're hoping to bring together engineers, doctors, educators, developers, and kind of come together to build for our community as opposed to the system that we found ourselves a part of.
Yeah. So is there so again, I know in what I read that there are several people that you have involved, not like for your mailing or the ways of communicating, but that's really involved in the project. Is there a process that one needs to go through to be on board, like be a part of the team, not just to receive the communications, but be actually a part of the team?
We offer many employment opportunities and we put out that information pretty often. So we hire pretty consistently. We've been hiring consistently since the pandemic. As people have been laying people off, we've been fortunate to be able to hire. And we think that it's important to bring in, experts and people with particular skill sets to assist us in reaching our goals. Outside of that, there's a lot of areas where we can partner as well. We have a lot of different things that we're doing from the construction side. We're always looking for good tradespeople, good contractors, or whatnot. And it's really just more about letting us know where your skill sets lie. We are more focused on the real estate space ourselves, because that's where our expertise and our experience lies. But we are open to coming together as far as any solutions that have to do with our initiatives. So it's really just, that's what the platform is for us to communicate and kind of get together on solutions.
Okay, great. I think that's great. So now, the big thing right now with all types of businesses, small and large for that matter, is capital. How did you acquire capital? Did you save to get these things off the ground? Did you, were there investors? Can you talk a little bit about that?
We've been grinding. We've been doing deals. I'll be honest with you. We've been hustling. I don't want to lie to the listeners or viewers to make them think there's some type of secret sauce. It's really the hustle. We've been working hard at doing deals. We started out by locating deals for other investors. At the time, we didn't have the money or whatnot to take these deals down or to buy these deals ourselves. So we worked with those that did. And our skill set was in locating them and negotiating them or whatnot. So we did that long enough to grow our capital to the point that we could start buying properties ourselves. But at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, being an entrepreneur means that you take risk. So you
better say, wait, Majesty, say, I don't care how pretty the picture is on Instagram. It's true. I want you to say that again. Say that one more time.
We took risk, and I have to admit that there's times where you feel very strongly about something, where we did many deals in many situations. We bet the house. And a lot of people aren't comfortable betting the house. And I understand that, and nothing's against that. But, I think of Elon Musk, and I just mentioned him again. He's definitely one of my people that I look up to in the business world or whatnot. But after he sold PayPal, he took all of the money from that and threw it right, into the next venture. He didn't go and buy, this and that. He spent so much on investing that he had to go and borrow money for his personal. So he made that type of money and put it all right back into.
There was a time, okay?
Yeah, keep it real, y'all. Keep it real.
This time we had to have a sit down because he was saying all the extra funds that we have available need to go back into the business.
You have to invest.
As a newly married couple, I was like, we should probably put some money in a side. And it was just like anything that's left over, not even looking to like next month.
You
like, we need to put it back into the business. And I was just like,
well, he's right. It's definitely risk. You do have to have a tolerance for risk when doing this on so many levels, because so COVID, that's a whole nother topic, before we, that's different. But even outside of that, because you can have a passion about something and you can, map it out in your head or the two of you in both of your heads, but it doesn't mean it's going to work. You know what I mean? So you go, but there is some truth. And I love how you say it's a hustle and grind, because when you do that hard, usually there's some, return on that eventually. For some people it's a year, for some people 2, for some people 10, but that's the true what I call the true hustle and grind really turns it around for you at the end of the day. So I love that.
Another thing is that you cannot choose the journey. You can choose the destination, but how you get there is completely up to fate and destiny. And that's a lot of faith to get you from, concept idea to your goal. And you have to trust the process in the middle, because there's a lot of time in the middle of the journey where you're just like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. But at the end of the journey, you realize that you needed that part in order to, fulfill your role at the new level of your life. So, you know, we're grateful for all of our experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't call them negative, but I'd call them like growth periods.
Exactly. And I wrote that what you said. You can't choose the journey. You have to know your destination and just be prepared for it. And you know, so you all have an element in it that may be different for others, is the fact that you're a couple. So it's like, you know, not one person taking this risk. You guys are taking this risk together. It's like ride or die. If it fails, we both go down, you know. So how is that? Were you both on board at the same time? It sounds like you were in real estate first, as she smiles. So how was that? You know, who had to get who on board, and how did that work?
We've both been hustlers in our own right separately, and that's what attracted us to each other initially. So even separately, we were both still taking, you know, calculated risks to goals. But when we got together, it was definitely a different level, and that's on two levels, because it's almost like two great athletes joining the same team, and they're used to when you got Kobe here, you got Jordan here, it may go bad.
Wait! You don't know, but I'm a huge basketball fan, and Jordan. Wait! You can't put those two names together. No, I'm just joking. But I'm joking. But yeah, so that can come with challenges, though. So when you got two mega stars coming together, like whose team is it?
You got to find out what that synergy is, as far as, okay, what lane are you going to be in, and what lane am I going to be in? So we did have to figure that part out or whatnot, but we found a really good rhythm, man. Not to say that we don't necessarily, you know, get into we're on conference calls or having meetings, and you know, with the staff, and she feels one way and I feel another, but we've reached a point where we're able to kind of handle it and see that we both just want the best for the business. But it's definitely you know, it's definitely it's a blessing at the end of the day to have a partner to work with in that sense. And I think that's one thing that everyone is looking for, no matter what their preferences are or whatnot, is looking for a partner to share in their goals, which is important. So I would definitely say to all of my brothers specifically, only because I'm a Black male, that it's very important to find that better half or whatnot. And it's a position of power, because I have somebody that I can trust by my side 24/7. And that's very special to have. And it does help it helps me when I go out to do deals, to know that I have that partner and I'm not alone, compared to before, when I was doing business at earlier age, when I was single. So definitely it's a power play. There's a reason that typically all of the big business, you know, you look at the Jay-Z's, you look at the Kanye's, you look at any business, most guys are married, and there's a reason for that, because behind every good man is a greater woman. So, you know, it's very important to have that balance or whatnot, so you can kind of focus your energies on what's important.
Yeah, and the Bible says when he finds a wife, he finds a what? Come on, say it with me. There you go, girlfriend. You know, the other
it's a great thing, but you know.
Yeah, I understand. So I heard children in the background. So the other thing I think is important is you have the same why, right? You have a family and you want to do well for your family. So that also probably contributes to the synergy and the desire and the drive to do what you're doing together. So that's a great thing. So let's get back to the community. So I know you all want to build like a community in Atlanta, right? Or I don't know if it's Atlanta proper, but so talk a little bit. I know we touched a little bit. Talk a little bit more about that. So it's not a property, it's not a building, it's a community. So what are your thoughts on how you make that all come to fruition?
Okay, well, what we're doing is actually referred to as a cottage community development. And it's similar to subdivision or whatnot, but we're talking about smaller lot sizes and also smaller structures. And this is to make everything more affordable for those that don't have $300,000 or $400,000 to buy a property in these metropolitan areas. So that's our goal here, is to make the properties more affordable, to build up communities as well, where we can keep the people that are from the communities in those communities, instead of pricing them and kicking them out, which is what typically happens. So our goal is to keep them there and also provide them with modern construction, in the sense of something that's new, you know. So that's our goal there. We also focus on alternative energy sources. We plan for these units to be completely solar, so you won't have an electric bill or whatnot. So that's another savings point or whatnot. And that's our main goal more so, is just to make these properties affordable and also provide some form of alternative energies because there's a lot happening there. I don't know if you saw in California where they're talking about no longer allowing gas vehicles. So things are changing. Things are changing or whatnot when it comes to energy sources. And I think that solar is a great way to go, especially during this pandemic. We have no idea what's going to happen the next day, especially with this individual we have in office. We have to. You just want to be as wary as possible, as intentional as possible, and we think that having a renewable source of energy would be great for someone that had home ownership, so they don't have to worry about the power company, cutting off their utilities. But
which is something that a lot of people have to worry about, because a lot of these utilities extensions are being, cut off. And so, especially during pandemic where unemployment is so high and things are so uncertain for so many people, wouldn't it be great to have a dependable solar energy source so that you can continue to, live and operate in a comfortable space?
Yes. And so talk to me about people that may be listening that said, like, wow, this is a great idea. They're not in Atlanta. Are you planning to do what you're doing in other geographies, or meaning you per se, or are you planning to say, okay, like, let's just say Patrina, you live in an area like what we're doing. Are you interested? Let me give you the roadmap of how to do it. Like, what's your plan? You all to do it, you all to show people, to purchase your sauce, if you will. What's your thought about taking it outside of where you are?
Well, we definitely intend on expanding. That's why you see us traveling very often to other areas. We're looking at property, we're walking property, we're talking about deals in other areas. Atlanta is definitely our home, and that's where we I guess kind of earned our stripes or whatnot. But we're looking to expand nationwide and bring this to everywhere that has a large demographic of our people. And as far as selling the sauce, that's not necessarily something that aligns with our principles. We definitely will need to partner with like-minded individuals to make this happen. We're only two people or whatnot. There's billions of people on this planet, and there's a lot of us as well. So we definitely want to partner with us so that we can kind of scale this as quickly as possible. But we as far as selling the sauce or anything, like, I think there's enough people selling their sauce. So everything that we got to offer when it comes to education, I mean, we've educated hundreds of people in real estate for free. We have content all over the internet from where we've been doing this for years. So we have no problem kind of showing people the ropes, but at the end of the day, it's all about taking action, like we spoke about. There's nothing until you take action, and that's something that you can't necessarily teach or whatnot. So we kind of bypass the mentor teaching situation because everybody just doesn't take action. But for those that do take action, we definitely are looking to partner. We'll bring our skill set, and you bring yours, and then we'll make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, you hit it. Like, it's the execution. People can buy course here, there, and everywhere, but if they don't execute, it's not the teachers or the facilitators' fault if there is an execution. So you're so absolutely right. So I love, again, I have to say it again. I just want to say, you can't choose the journey. I love that, and trust the process. I think those are great because I do think that people look at people and where they are today and think okay, now I'm ready to get started. Like, I want to be there right now, and don't understand what's the behind the scenes. So it's so great that you said that. So I know that you shared a lot. I mean, this has been great. If you see me like pausing and turning this way, is because I'm taking notes. So I know that you have a family of companies. What do you want to share? Anything else you want to share about what you're doing? And then follow that by what would you tell somebody that's interested in doing what you're doing today and how they can connect to you. Connect to you.
Just to tell you a little bit about our family of companies, we have Evopia, which is the membership platform that we discussed earlier. You can go to evopia.org. That's EVOPIA.org and sign up for membership. It's completely free, and you will have direct access to, what we're doing and updates and things of that nature. And then also, if you're interested in learning more about partnership opportunities with the development, you can go to evohaven.com, and there's all the information there, email, phone number, and you can reach out to us if you're interested in partnering on an actual development.
Great. And anything you want to share with, there any support you need right now? Anything is it the mailing list you want them to get on? What would you like people to do if they want to stay engaged with Majesty and Elize?
The main thing definitely is to sign up for evopia.org.
Okay.
That's the best way to stay in touch with everything that we have going on. We also do have the Apple and Android app going live. So yeah, we'll have an application where everybody can get on there. We'll have live streaming capabilities, so we could literally be doing this live stream on our platform or whatnot. And that's the goal as well, to connect with content creators like yourself that have valuable information to disseminate to our community. So that's our goal. It's not necessarily about us. We're just one piece. We do hope to inspire and motivate other people to kind of come together and connect, and also to invest in your people. I mean, we invest heavily in our people. Like the application that we just mentioned, that's something that we financed ourselves to offer to our community for free. So if more of us were able, and I understand everybody's not in a position to do that, but you do want to offer your skills and your resources to your community, because we build up each other. But the best way for us to stay in touch with people and for them to see what we have going on is to join evopia.org and download the app when it comes out. There'll be a lot of content coming out, and you'll be able to see everything in real time, uncensored, unfiltered, all of the above.
That's beautiful.
If you're into censored or filtered content, you can feel free to follow us on Instagram at Majesty_Elize.
Yeah. All right. And all of that will be in our show notes as well. So if you had to leave, and I want each of you to respond to this separately. If you had to leave with a comment to somebody that think it's not possible, right? What would you say to them today?
Okay. Somebody who believes it's not possible.
And that it could be anything that you talked about that you've been able to accomplish.
I believe the first step is believing that it's possible. So, and I don't want to say, unfortunately, if you believe it's not possible, there's no hope for you. But I will say that if you believe it's not possible and you have an interest, I would suggest that you dig deeper, do more research, educate yourself until you believe that it's possible, and then we can have a conversation.
Love it. Love it.
To chime in there, I mean, everything was impossible until somebody did it. Yeah. That's been proven many times. If you even look at sports, we were talking about it earlier. But the guy that broke the record for running I want to say it was a 4-minute mile or whatnot, and then now everybody else broke that record. It's just a matter of, everything's impossible until somebody does it. So, we're just because it hasn't happened yet, or you're not aware that it has happened, doesn't mean that it's not possible. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people from the past, if they time travel right now, they would say everything that exists right now, from our cell phones to this Zoom call to the airplanes, wasn't possible. So you just have to think longer term. You have to have more faith in yourself and the abilities that have been bestowed to you by whatever you call the creator or the universe. But that's I don't want to turn this into a sermon, but that's the main thing, is have faith in yourself, and everything was impossible until somebody did it. So just be the person that does it.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my goodness. So I meant to ask this question earlier. So Corona, COVID, I don't know which way to call it there, but one, interchangeable. How did that have an impact to your business? Because you think about real estate, you think, like you mentioned, travel. How if it had an impact, what sort of impact, and how did you pivot?
It definitely had an impact. One thing we can't lie about is that it had an impact. For one, employees couldn't come into the office. So we had to, do everything remote. And I think a lot of businesses had to figure that out. And many of them weren't positioned to be able to figure that out, or to be able to pivot quick enough. Also sales, just more so spending on the national level, just people aren't spending the same way. But outside of that, we have always stayed flexible, kind of ready, kind of more fluid when it came to the markets, to be ready for whatever comes. And fortunately, what we do, the demand became greater as far as affordable housing, because we house people that are facing homelessness. That's something we actively do now in Atlanta. So our business kind of, the need became greater. We had organizations like United Way and Atlanta Mission that are calling us every day asking us for help. So, our business kind of skyrocketed, but we had to be positioned in order to take advantage of that. And it wasn't easy initially. So we also had to have the courage to do this, knowing that we were up against a challenge that we don't even honestly completely understand. We don't know if what next week looks like as far as down but you have to still have the courage to move forward, or whatnot. So it took a lot of courage, but it definitely affected us. And we've been fortunate to kind of transmute it from a negative situation to something where it has grown our business exponentially in this time frame. Our membership has grown since Corona. That was after Corona started. So we've gained, 3,000 plus members after that, but that's only because while everything was going on and everybody else was running and ducking, if you look on our Instagram and YouTube, we were giving information to people on how they can get their unemployment, how they can get business funding, how they can get food or excuse me, rental assistance or anything like that. So we just continue to provide value even in the face of uncertainty. And, fortunately it's paying off. And that's something that we really believe heavily in doing, is providing value to our people.
In the middle of this pandemic, we did use our personal funds to make this pivot. So mind you, like the world is like crashing and like, hey,
we got to invest.
He's like, we got. I was like, this is the time to like hunker down,
we buying property, we buying equipment, we hiring.
As you're looking at where it's going, not like right here today.
You gotta lean into it. It's just like to make a decision. You could invest this money and nurture it and grow it. Or you can save it, but eventually if you save it and you don't have anything coming in, anything working for you, especially during a pandemic, businesses were closed, unemployment was at an all-time high, people that we used to be able to call were no longer taking calls, everyone was contracting. In that climate, we saw it as an opportunity.
We definitely expanded. And it's paying off at this point now, even since the pandemic, like March, somewhere around there. There's projects that we're completing now that are, we're able to realize the fruits of our labor or whatnot. And that wouldn't have happened if we decided, hey, let's be safe. Let's play it safe here. Or whatnot. Let's pass up this deal. So that's something that I definitely want to tell people, to have faith in yourself. Or whatnot, sow seeds. It's not always gonna go right, but the thing is, when it does go right, you'll know, what you did, and you can replicate it, and you eat off of that for life. So.
Yes, I love it. So this has been awesome. I really appreciate you. You all said yes, like right away. Let's get out here and do this. So I love it, and your complete flexibility. So I appreciate that, and I am just enamored about what you all have going on. I went into research, but I didn't register yet, so I got to go and register, and I'm writing my little notes here because I want to stay engaged with what you all are doing. Thank you. Not everybody, a lot of people are doing things. Some people are doing things for themselves. You are doing things for not just yourselves and your family, for others. I saw the charity things that you all are doing. So keep up the great work. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for what you do.
Definitely. And thank you for taking the time to have us on here. We love speaking with our people about solutions and the power of real estate, because we truly believe that's a solution for us in our position, and the things that we're asking people for, we can demand it if we own real estate. So
That's right. That's absolutely right. Well, thank you all for being on an episode of The Money Exchange. And remember, if you didn't subscribe, hit that subscribe button and share it with a friend. And if you enjoyed, leave a comment because we would love to see what you have to say, what you heard about here today. All right. Let's see.